Alright everybody, we're here for Bitcoin talk, aka crypto talk, aka cryptocurrency talk. Scaling in Segwit. They changed the hard-coded seeds of the servers. How will developers push back from this egregious happening?
Egregious?
Yes, egregious. Got my buddy here, Claudio, by the way, everyone. And we're looking at the prediction markets favoring Segwit to be activated. Segwit 2x an underdog. BIP 148 a huge dog. We'll get into that in a minute.
What is BIP 148?
We'll get into that in a moment. Okay, let's just hold our horses. We got to talk about this hard-coding seed change because they went ahead and, Bitcoin's open source, so we can look at the changes they're trying to make to the code. There's people who are trying to make and say, hey, we'll just throw these huge companies in there as opposed to these other servers that were being used, which were just basically run by individuals.
So this is like corporate America, they're rubbing out.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to rub out the mom and pop, like this Luke Dash Jr. guy, just running a server, and it's just running a server in his house.
Trying to feed his kids. That's all the guy wants to do.
That's all he's trying to do. These other guys, all just individuals. You notice a very striking thing. They're not even making money from this. They're doing it to support the Bitcoin network. You understand? Now, this is being changed to all companies that make money.
Well,
that's all they're in it for.
That's because these companies see their money to be made, so they're fucking kicking out the little guy and jumping on a bandwagon.
Yep, kicking him right in the dick. But
kick him in the ding-ding.
The beautiful part is we don't have to run this changed code. This is an option.
We have options. Options are good.
We can just go back to these guys that are in red, and we can run the code that says these guys will use their servers. All right? So, not that big a deal. The Bitcoin.org page says that there may be a chain split, which there may be two coins. So, how you're looking and be like, oh, I got 2 coins here, right? It might split off like Ethereum did. When Ethereum split off, right, you had Ethereum. Say you had 10 Ethereum. Yeah. Then all of a sudden it splits. There's guys who are like, no, we're not going to do this. And there's guys who are like, no, we are going to do this. We're going to change the code.
Okay.
If you're just sitting there with Ethereum in your wallet, when that happened, you can run the code to split it, and it'll be like you send someone 10 Ethereum, and then you can also send someone 10 Ethereum Classic, which is the smaller currency, but they both have a value. Like one's $20 and one's $200. So your 10 Ethereum that started, they're each worth $220 each, because they each have both of that. You know what I mean? You can send 10 Ethereum to someone, and then you can send 10 Ethereum Classic to someone. Mm-hmm. So that same thing can happen with coins. Like these coins can split and be valued differently.
Classic Bitcoin now?
Yeah, and they've tried to do that several times already and failed, and this is just another attempt. You look at these guys who are running it, they have just not let it happen, and you just got to respect it,
These splits, are they like when a stock splits, same kind of concept?
No, because one can be way worth more than the other. Ethereum and Classic are one's 10 times the other, because all the devs stuck to one side, mainly, except a few, and the other side, it's just people who just believe in a certain way that should be a certain way. Mm-hmm. So that's the same type of thing. So one could be worth huge and one could be worth nothing. And they've already tried to do it many times, and it's been everyone sticks with this core group of people, it seems, but it's a flexible thing. It's just the type of thing where if you have the ability to code well and add good code to the project, people are going to use it, Mm-hmm. So it's a very concerning thing. And the way they did it was just they didn't change any other code. They just pushed this change in the code. They're like, we'll figure everything else later out. We just got to make sure we control the servers and shit. So
when did this change come about?
This is today. This is just today.
This happened today.
But they've been planning this type of thing, and adding changes to the code for weeks now, and updating it, and trying to get ready for a second fork and a second chain split, and all this other type of shit.
This is going to bring an increase in value.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to really increase the value, especially if Segwit gets activated. So let's talk about that now.
Yeah, increase value, that's what I like to talk about.
Because I barely even know that. All right, so we're looking at this site called Fairlay, which gives prediction markets, which gives you an idea of what percentage the general people all come to a consensus about what the probability is. So if you look at the numbers, a plus 268, if you can see it there, means there's a smaller chance of it happening, that's between a 2/3 and 3/4 chance of it not occurring, right? So plus 268, you get paid 2.6 to 1 on your money if you bet on that. So will Segwit activate before November 1st? We got yes at a whopping minus 161. So that's looking at it to be favored. That means if you bet 161, you only get 100 back if it's right. So That's a favorite. That means that's favored by the market. So Segwit will lead to a huge increase of price, most likely, if it gets through, because a lot of altcoins, like for example, Litecoin is doing really well right now because it has Segwit activated. So like they're able to do what Segwit does is it like enables like additional transactions like within the transactions type of thing. Like you send coins to somebody and then like that opens a channel and you can like be sending coins back and forth. Like it frees up space in the blocks and stuff. So like it's supposedly good. It has some other benefits too, like with the transactions. I don't understand the code all that well myself, so I don't know like why it's specifically why it's so good, but I know that like enough people are on board with it, like that are smarter than me, to make me think it's a good idea.
That's why it's a heavy favorite.
Yeah, and it's also been tested on Litecoin. You know, there's a thing with Segwit where if it was broken, anyone would be able to steal a bounty, and there's like a $2 million worth of Litecoins. So like if you're able to steal the money, like that's such a good test, you know what I mean, to have like all that money sitting there. If Segwit really didn't work properly, someone would have almost certainly. I mean, it's always possible no one figured it out, but probably they just
no, because
can't
there's
do
plenty
it.
of nerds out there like you that just sit in front of a computer all day.
Yeah, and way smarter than me, in fact, much smarter. Because like I said, I barely even know. Like I couldn't even look at that everyone can spend thing and figure out how to even think about stealing it. But someone I'm sure has and stress tested it, but they failed obviously because it's still sitting there. You can look on the blockchain; those Litecoins are still sitting there.
Still there.
All right, so Segwit will increase the value almost certainly, but we're looking at November 1st. That's when the value's going to increase. So we got also things like coming up like August 1st is when this BIP 148 thing is supposed to go through. So that's going to be like a thing that disables the miners from like secretly boosting their mining power like 15% more efficiently through like the miners that only they have, and it blocks that and doesn't allow them to do well. So I'm pretty sure like getting Segwit going too, because basically the miners are refusing to do Segwit because they're just out for their own best interest. They're just trying to make as much money as they can while they can.
And Segwit puts a cramp on that.
Yeah, like it reduces it by 15% what they're going to make, so that's a lot of money when they're just doing passive income that you don't really have to work for. Like you just have to turn the miners on, and all they have to do is turn the miners on with this special ASIC boost property, and they're making it 15% more than anyone else can. You know, and they have like 20% of the miners, 20% of the mining share it's estimated is over with that group in China, which it's pretty obvious at this point that they're associated with the Chinese government. Like they've completely denied it. They're like, oh yeah, this Jihanwu guy is completely independent contractor. He's just mining bitcoins. But like, for him to get this big, to have 20% of the hash power, basically, that's a lot of fucking money. That's making like 6 figures US dollars cash per day. Just in the mining, yeah, from 20% of the networks. Think how many coins are generated per day. There's 12 generated every 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's 120 every couple hours.
I thought there was a cap on how many you can mine, though.
Yeah, but they're still mining them. 12 for 10 minutes. You know, whatever, 70 per hour or so.
Yeah.
On average, because it fluctuates. Sometimes there's 2 blocks, 3 blocks in a couple minutes. Sometimes it goes 20 minutes without finding a block.
Yeah.
But basically, they're making a lot of cash. To think that the Chinese government, who's already like made statements on Bitcoin, is not like have somewhat to do with this Bitmain group that has like huge control over the mining. Yeah, they've got. They're all over it.
Governments just legalized gangsters. That's all they are.
Yeah, and especially the Chinese government is really bad. So we don't know.
What are the Chinese gangsters called?
The Yakuza.
That's Japanese. Triads is Chinese, I think.
Yeah, probably, you know. Played poker with a few of those guys down at the place.
I
the old down south, you know.
I hear you. I
like those guys.
I dated abroad on the other side. Her father was a big shot.
Hey, pal, you know.
You know what I mean?
That's neither here nor there, though. That's harkening back to the Navy days.
Yeah, it was back 15 years ago.
You don't have to go back to those days. All right, so we're looking at.
I like those days. That was fun back then.
Who wouldn't want to travel the world?
I was young, good looking, had a lot of money, traveling the world, and doing a lot of fucking partying. You sign me up again. That's what I'm going to be a recruiter. I'm going to tell all the recruits the values of the service. What can come out of it per se. A lot of ass, a lot of international ass.
Yeah, that is definitely
and there's some other shit in between.
A little known benefit. But still, the getting shot at part is kind of a concern.
Well, pick an easy job. I was a cook. I was never in danger unless our ship got bombed. But
unless the ship got bombed. So if you want to risk it, people, go ahead. Just let him sign you up. Let him use his referral code for the Army, or the Navy, or whatever.
If you're smart, though, you go in the Air Force because that's the easy living, less dangerous. But they only take really smart people. They don't take every fucking moron.
You gotta have good eyesight too. Like we can't get in these glasses. I can barely.
No,
see.
That's bullshit. There's waivers for that and shit. There's waivers for that, but they don't like dummies. The Air Force takes all the smart people.
All right, I think that about wraps it up here. So we're not looking at the Air Force. We're just a couple of Bitcoin users just trying to figure this stuff out. It looks like the Chinese Yakuza or the Triads. It's going to be a battle, but like I said, Segwit by November 1st is a favorite, so looks like we're going to have to push hard to beat them.
Means roll up your fucking pennies, save a couple dollars,
and get coins.
Small investment in Bitcoin.
And participate in Segwit if you can somehow.
And keep following our podcast.
Yeah, run a wallet that does Segwit, and follow us. We're going to talk about it. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Up till November 1st and even up till August 1st is going to be very interesting. I think the market's going to be crazy. Like, it's already been a swingy market, but it could be insane swings. Like, it could drop to 1,000 from like where it is, which is like huge, or it could spike to 3,000.
I think it's going to spike more than it's going to drop.
I think it's going to spike too, but it remains to be seen. Yeah, if we knew what it was going to do, we could make a lot of money either shorting or buying the market. So
we're going to do that anyway.
Yeah, let's do it, people. Let's make some money. All right. Crypto Talk. Subscribe. See you later.